Are we good? Yes. All right, we are good. We are live. All right, guys, welcome back to another trading session. Today is Monday, June 16th. Gonna break down these charts down for you guys. No big news today, so don't gotta worry about too much. But today's Monday, so we're gonna make sure we starting the week off right. All right. So with that being said, you already know, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. All the links are in the description of the video. All right. So let's jump right into it. Let me share my screen here, and we'll jump right into these pairs. Right, starting at the top here. Let's get to the 1 hour chart. Sweet. All right. So this isn't horrible. Like I was mentioning last week, guys, we want these first three, NAS 100, S&P, US 30, to go ahead and top out and turn around, which looked like it's starting to try to do that. Right. So we got some little structure here. All right. Another little thing here. Can't say that should have been a level 1 trade because it's the area from here to here is way too tight. So if you did take that, you kind of took that with bad RR. But either way, the move is to look for the next move, right? That's why I was mentioning we want to see this 50, 200 cross. We know this is level 2, right? Then price to come down, give us that M structure off to 200, and then drop to the 800. This almost definitely is going to happen this week. Almost definitely. Right? Market baseline going above the static for the reload. Right? The move will look something like this. Shorts. Above this swing, all the way down here towards the 800 is the target. This will be great if this sets up, guys. So be on the lookout for this. It's not going to happen today. Obviously, we still got some time on it. It's still cooking. But this will be a great setup if it occurs. So we're definitely going to be watching this for this week. But today, this is not happening. So this is a pass. And I surmise that these two are pretty much the same. As you can see, just how we was mentioning yesterday, guys. All right, we got this. The move is that the first leg is actually over here. You can tell that because one's outside the band. But either way, you got this one. And then you got this. This just dropped all of a sudden. So there was no room to get in here for a level 1 trade, which is fine. We wasn't looking for that anyway. We're looking for the level 2 move, which is right here. 5200 has already crossed. Looking for the M structure off the 200, going towards the 800, or you can target the 80-yard low, which more than likely is the better play. Worst case scenario, you want to make sure your stop's at break even once it does get to the 800, just in case it bounces. All right, but same thing as NAS 100. This will be your move, right? Even if you target it here, that's still a 1 for $1.75, somewhere around there. If you target at the 80-yard low, definitely over a 1 for 2. All right, so this move looks just like NQ. All right. Simultaneously, obviously, the market baseline does need to go above the static for the reload. And from here, you are all set. All right. Now, if all three of these moves happen on the same day, you want to be careful with your risk management. Don't risk 1% on all of them. Try to narrow down which one is the cleanest, and then make a decision from there, which we'll more than likely go over. All right, so that's US 30. This is S&P. S&P looks a little bit different. Look like this one's still trying to go a little bit higher, but same thing. We're not looking for anything different because we know that the next move in the cycle is for these two to cross, right? 5200 cross, so you know you're in level 2. Price needs to come back up, make that M structure. 0800, yeah. So this one might be the best one, guys. This is all the way down here, right? Of course, market baseline is already pointing up, but it needs to go back above the static for the reload. And this move has a great R to R, right? Yeah, this is almost a 4 for 1. All right, so definitely want to be on the lookout for S&P this week. All right, all three of those are pretty much the same, so we'll keep an eye on all of them. Next up, we have gold. Gold has just been doing its own thing here lately. Rising, rising, rising. This is already super, super high. Um, I wouldn't want to say that this reset because it didn't touch the 800. You want to let this one play out for a little bit more price action. This is kind of hard to read because you could say theoretically that we got the new 5200 cross. So this needs to come down to make the W off the 200 and go back long. Market baseline is already pointing down, right, for this reload. So maybe you can catch a move like that. I would not take this bounce off this 50 though. Is what I would not do. So if it does close back above the 13 and continue to run, that would be a missed move. But well, we wouldn't take that move rather, because the next move in the cycle is the W off the 200. So I wouldn't be interested in this until it makes this move. Right, that will look something like this. Target back to the high. Nice one for nearly a 2.5. Actually, if you target the ADR high, yeah, nice for 1 for 3 actually. All right, so you're gonna look out for that. Again, I would not take this bounce move here. So that's not happening just yet. This is a pass. Silver that we talked about last week is just hanging on out. This thing is now ranging. It looks super ugly. Literally after it made this early morning move, this thing had just been chilling in the same exact spot. Just hanging out there. This is ugly now. I wouldn't take this. Even though I do believe this is short, I wouldn't touch this because it could just easily just keep chopping and then finally fall. You don't really know when it's going to happen. Right? Market baseline is looking crazy. It's just kind of going just as straight. Yeah, this one is a pass. I wouldn't want to touch silver at all, so let this one go. Crude oil is interesting. I will be looking for a move back to the downside on this one. Reason being is we got the market baseline streaming down here. Yeah, this is really, really, really high too. It's kind of hard to tell. Oh, you know what? Actually, it's not. We got this 5200 cross, and if you pay attention, once this cross price does not touch the 200, this doesn't count. For one, market baseline is above the static, and two, this is just a wick. We need some body on this. Right, but if you look down, price has not touched the 200 ever since. Right, so with that being said, we got two moves here actually, guys. You can catch this move if this was to, let's say, if it was to do something like this, make this M top run, break below, not touch the 200, pull back, retest this area, and then drop. Right, you can catch this move, and then market baseline would be going below the static. There's no reload on this, remember, since this is just a master trade. This is move 1 here for the shorts, and then once price actually does get down here to the 200, you could be looking for the W going back long, right? And then the market baseline will go back above the static, because at this point it would be a reload. Different setup. This is the master trade, right? And setup 2 would be the W off the 200. Right, so we got two moves possibly happening here on crude oil. Now it's going to be obviously hard to tell which to really catch this, but if this does play out, this would be the next move in the cycle. All right, catching one to the short side for risking $1 for $1.31, and then catching the move to the long side, targeting the highs. This could be a 2.5. All right, so watch these. These could easily play out. Now, this probably take all week, so it won't happen today or probably not tomorrow, but actually move 1 could happen tomorrow. But that is not happening right now, so this is a pass for today. Bitcoin is pretty simple to see for the simple fact that we have a fresh 5200 cross here. Right, market baseline. Price needs to come back up, give us the move up the M structure off the 200. Market baseline is already screaming up, as you can see. We want to finish on out, make that reload. All right, price will, the move will look something like this. Targeting the 800. Be careful with this, because as you guys know, I personally do not like to short Bitcoin. But if the move is there, you know, by all means, I can justify it. I probably wouldn't take it, but at the end of the day, the move, if it sets up like this is the move. All right, so be careful with that and watch out for it. That'll take a second to happen. The peso is just getting weaker and weaker, which sucks a little bit, but we'll leave that one alone. All right, let's get to these Forex pairs. So kind of how I mentioned last week, this is really high. We got the 5,200 cross back here. Actually, yeah, see, this is stupid high. Yeah, the cross is actually all the way back here. All right. Then from here, we do got this move off the 200. So that is the move that you'd be looking for. But then we got another one over here, like a second W. Now we're all the way up here. So I wouldn't be interested in any more longs in this. I would be more interested in shorts. Maybe a move like this, right? Market baseline, 50 and 200 cross to the downside. Then I'll be looking for the M structure off the 200 going short, right, towards this 800 EMA. I'll be interested in this move, right? That'll look something like this. All right, nice tooth, 1 for 2.5 nearly. This will take forever. This might not ever happen until next week. So EU was probably off the board for me this entire week. I don't really like it long like this. That's not happening, so this is the pass for today. EJ is more or less the same. Yeah, EJ is more or less the same for me. We got the 5,200 cross here. All right, then we got this pattern off the 200, which does count. We got body and we have the reload, so that's definitely the move. And since then, we did have this bounce move here, but it looks, this is very outstretched, so I'm not interested in this long either. I would, again, want to see the 5,200 cross, right? Price peak up, run down, give me that M off the 200, and drop towards the 800. All right, market baseline would go below the static, back above for the reload, and that move will look something like this. All right, not nearly a nice 1 for 3. So only the move for the downside on EJ for me. That's not happening just yet, so it's a pass. ECAD is attempting to do something. It's still got some more time on it, but we do got this first 5,200 crossover here. The next move will be the W off the 200. Whoops. All right, so we got this first leg already. Just need to come back down, make the second leg, close back above, run up for the actual W. All right, market baseline is already below the static. You see it trying to curve around. It'll probably take a second, maybe do something like this, and then come back up, because this needs to come back down first. So you don't want it to go market baseline and go back up too fast. You need to let it play out. And that'll look something like this. All right. You can even target up here to the highs. So at least a nice 1 for 1.5 on this one. All right, this is not happening just yet, so this is a pass. Euro NZD, we actually already marked this up if you can see this. All right, so same exact thing, guys. We're looking for this reload still. Market baseline needs to go below the static. Looking for that W structure off the 200. We got the fresh cross. See, if you try to take this bounce over here, look what happened. Reason being is after the 5,200 cross, you cannot take the bounce move off the 50. That move only can happen in level 1. If you try to take this bounce move off the 50 after the 5,200 cross, you're probably going to get stopped out. It's an 80% chance. Right? That's why the next move is the W off the 200. This move will work out 80% of the time. It's the complete opposite. All right, so target this is nearly a 1 for 3. Right? We also might even have we got the 800, 200 cross too. So you end up getting the W off the 800 and the 200, which is even more powerful. All right, so this isn't happening just yet. This might happen this week, so we'll keep an eye on EN. Next up is EG. EG is dead. We took this, well, not missed this, but they didn't give us an opportunity to get in last week. 200 was the move, right? And again, just pay attention to this, right? So 5,200 crossed here, right? Then was the W off the 200, and then the bounce. See how this kind of worked out for you, right? The bounce is over here after the 200 cross. Looking for the W. After the W is the bounce off the 50. Now this one kind of worked. Now, is it the prettiest? Of course not. I believe this is in level 3. So not the prettiest, and it still didn't even hit TP yet. But at least you'd be at break even right now. All right, you definitely be at break even, and it probably end up hitting TP later today. This was almost a 1 for 2. All right, confirmation on this was Friday the 13th at 4 o'clock. So super late in the day. You probably wouldn't have taken this. All right, so just pointing out the structure, guys. The structure. Just wait for the setup to happen. But this is nothing. As you can see, we want this is already level 3, so we want this to actually turn around at this point and come back the other way, just like the other ones. 5,200 cross. All right. This might not work out well because the 800 is so close. By the time this comes and makes the M structure and goes here, it's kind of a short move. So might not work out great. This one might end up being a pass for the week, but we'll see as it plays out. Oh, so at least a 1 for 1. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see what it looks like when it actually closes. But that's nothing for now. EA, we did this already too. As you can see, EA needs to do the same exact thing. Once again, imagine you tried to take that bounce off the 50 after the 200 cross. You would not be looking too good right now. Right? Structure, guys. Same exact thing. W off the 200. This is the move you'd be looking for on EA. Right? This is not happening just yet, so this is a pass. GU is what I thought we were going to be taking today, for the simple fact that we have the 5,200 cross. Next up, you had the huge W structure going long. All right. Now this happened really early. Trying to see if this works. Okay, that is nice. I figured you could do that, but wasn't sure. All right. And this one was supposed to be nice, but if you see this, you would end up. Now that I think about this move did happen early in the morning at 2 o'clock. What would have happened theoretically is if you would have took this here, mind you, because this is the move, so that's the next move in the cycle. If you did take this here, when it got up, you would have moved your stops to break even. So if you somehow could have got in on the pullback, you'd have been down here, right? And you would definitely be at break even, and you would have set through all of this. So you wouldn't have had to close this because you would have been at break even already. So that 2-hour rule would have applied, but you wouldn't have to close it. Again, you would be at break even, and you would actually be up on this position now. We were waiting for this to kind of pull back, seeing that we weren't up at 2 o'clock in the morning. We were waiting on this to actually create the ID 50 move on a 15-minute, which it didn't do, because as you can see, price never actually touched the 50 EMA right here. So for us, this is a pass, because what you don't want to happen is for you to try to jump in here and say, oh, it's gone, and then it actually comes back down, hits the 50 like it's supposed to do, and then run up. That's what you don't want to happen. So this was a pass. All right. So nothing on GU, even though we were super close. But yeah, once again, just checking out the cycle. 5200 cross, W off the 200, long. Right, this is the move, long. Next up is GJ. GJ looks really funny. We got 3 crosses, 5200 cross, 5200 cross, 5200 cross. This looks weird. We'll leave this one alone altogether. GA. GA is attempting to go the other way now, it looks like. We got the 5200 cross. You would ideally be looking for W's off the 200, going back long. Market baseline is already pointing down, almost below the static, looking for a reload. The move will look something like this. All right. That's not happening just yet, so this is a pass. GC. GC is nothing. We had this move last week that didn't let us get in. One huge move. This is just like your EG. So this was nothing. And as of now, it's nothing either. We want this to go ahead and turn around, if anything. And give us something like this. We're interested in this move. But no more shorts on GC. GN. GN looks just like that one, weirdly enough. From here, you can see we have the first 5200 cross. Next, we're looking for W's off the 200, which does not look like it's about to do that. It's going to end up going the other way. Market baseline needs to go below the static for the reload. And that move will look something like this. I don't think this is going to play out. Yeah, even the R to R is like barely a 1-for-1. So I will leave this one alone. I don't really like that move. GF. GF is interesting because we have, this is one of those outliers that we call it, because this is one of the 20% of the time they would run without actually doing the move. Right, once the 5200 cross, we were looking for an M structure off the 200 and a reload, but as you can see, that never happened. Right, now this is already really low. I really wouldn't want to take this like this, the M off the 200 with the reload, but that would be the next move in the cycle. You kind of have to see what it will look like after it confirms. Maybe, maybe not, because it would make the M off the 200 and the 800. And as you can clearly see, even though price did touch it here, there was no reload. So the second move did not happen yet. All right, so that is nothing. USD CAD, super low. There's nothing here. Just want to leave this one alone altogether. This needs to bottom out, give us some type of structure, bounce, and go long. We're interested in this move, but that'll take forever to happen. Maybe next week. So that's nothing. USD CHF, pretty much the same cycle. Both of these are running the same. All right, so same exact thing. I'm not touching this. We get some type of W structure. This one would need to make the move in level 2 because these are really close together already. And then we're interested in the W off the 200 going long. All right, market baseline. Go above, back below the static for the reload. All right. That's not happening. It will take a minute, so that's a pass. UJ. UJ is UJ is interesting because technically, let me see. Yeah, this is interesting. This might qualify for a scratch the itch trade. Let me see. We got the 5200 cross. Right. We got the head and shoulders pattern here outside the band. This looks like it's inside the band, but it's super hard to tell. Let's see. Yeah, this looks like it's inside the band. Yeah, just made inside the band. And let's look at the forward. Oh, that's what it is. So this as of now has no 4-hour confirmation. It's right there, super, super close, but it's not there. And in addition to this is actually making the money trade after the M off the 200. So maybe later today, this might not be bad for a scratch the itch trade. But this does need to confirm first, guys. So don't jump into this. You can't get into this hour, this 4-hour candle closes. That's another 3 hours. Might be too late in the day, but check it out. Keep an eye on it. See what it looks like. This move, you would definitely want it to pull back a little bit, at least to like right here. Stops can go above this swing. And you can target this low here. So nice one for 1.5 nearly, right? And the higher you can get this, will be even better. So if you can get this to around this price point, 144.100, that might be not bad at all. So be on the lookout for that. In fact, I'm going to set an alert here. Just saying, check this out. All right. So that is UJ. UJ is not horrible. Not horrible at all. Next up is AUD CAD. We had this here from last week. Let's take this off. This one, as you can see, is pretty simple. We got the fresh 5200 and 200, 800 cross. Interesting. So next up is the M off the 200. And it'll actually make the move off the 800 as well, maybe. Market baseline is already pointing up. Want to go back above for the reload. And the move will look something like this. All right. Nice 1 for 2 if this sets up. This will take a minute though. So for now, it's a pass. And you, what is going on within you? Yeah, this is nothing. I'm gonna leave this one alone altogether. This is just gibberish. In CAD is pretty simple to see. We have a fresh 5200 cross. All right. Next move needs to happen is the M off the 200, which will be probably the M off the 800 as well. Market baseline going up for the reload. And that move will look something like this. And target all the way down here. Stops above this swing point. This will give you a nice R to R if this is to set up this way. So take a look at that. It's not happening just yet though, so it's a pass. NF, same exact thing. You can see the nice 5200 cross. Market, price needs to come up, make that M structure off the 200, more than likely to be the 800 as well. You can see the market baseline is already screaming up, so we need that reload. And that move will look something like this. Target these lows. Stops goes above the swing. Nice, nearly 3 for 1 move, guys. Obviously, that's not happening yet, so that is a pass as well. Next up is AU. AU looks like NU a little bit. This looks a little funny. Yeah, this looks a little funny, but looking at it, this is the first 5,200 cross. As you see, price did touch it over here. There was no real run, but this might have faked you out because he did have a reload here. But no real first leg either. So this is kind of ugly. But maybe you took this, maybe you didn't. If you did take this, I can kind of justify why you would have. Hopefully you didn't hang on to it, and at the next bounce price, which had been right here, you would have moved your stop to break even, so you avoided this huge stop out right here. All right, so hopefully that's what happened. Other than that, we did have this W structure. All right, maybe you could have took this morning. Is this the 16th? Yeah, at 1 o'clock in the morning. All right, maybe you were up. You was able to take this. All right, let's see what this would have looked like. Stops had to go below this swing. Target could have been here, could be here. Yeah, so barely a 1-for-1. It's almost close to it. Hopefully you're at least at break even. If anything, market baseline did go below the static for the reload, so not bad at all. Not bad. Just this happened at 1 o'clock in the morning. So once again, though, guys, the structure. This isn't by coincidence. This is design. Right, 5,200 cross here. Next move is to W off to 200. Simple. AF is easy to see. We got the first 5,200 and 800, 200 cross. Market baseline is already pointing up, so we need that to reload. On the chart, nice M structure off the 200, maybe the 800, and that move looks just like the other ones. Right? Nice 3-for-1, almost 3.5-for-1. This will take a second to happen, so that's a pass. We might have some great setups this week, so let's just monitor them all. EF is funky. I'm leaving this one alone altogether. This looks super weird. CAD yen. CAD yen looks a little funky too. We got the 5,200 cross back here. We got the W structure off the 200 already. And it's trying to make another one, which we don't take the second W. It's only the first one. So this is nothing. We'll pass on this one altogether. FJ is really high. So this needs to turn around. This is a for sure pass, but this needs to turn around, do something. Right, 50 and 200 cross each other. Maybe here, price comes down, comes back up, makes that M structure off the 200, drops. Market baseline going below the static, back above for the reload. And that move will look something like this, just like the other ones. Right, nice 2-for-1. That'll take a second to happen, so that is a pass. This one's just like the other ones, super easy to see. It's funny when they all set up so similar like this. 5,200 cross, 800, 200 cross. Market baseline is just now getting to the static. We need that to go ahead and reload. We need some type of real M off this 200 drop. That move will look something like the other ones. Stop above the 800. Nice 2-for-1 again. All right, let's be on the lookout for that. In fact, I think I will put an alert right here, just to say, check this out. All right, next up is AN. Kind of went over this earlier today. I don't really like this too much because it's, again, 2 Asia pairs, but yeah, see, we got the 5,200 cross here. This actually does count as the M. It was very quick, but it does count. We got body, and if you look above, market baseline did go above the static. Outside the band, inside the band, this was good. The next move would be the bounce off of the 50 for the money trade. It looked like that might have happened back here. Yeah, it looked like it did actually. Yeah, this one's a little hard to see, to be honest. But yeah, this looks like this was the bounce trade right here. So I really wouldn't be interested in taking anything else. I want this to turn around and go the other way, if anything. This would be definitely a scratch days trade if you did want to take it. Take this in off this 200. Right, try to get a small pullback. Stop got to go all the way above here. TP can go all the way down here. So nice one for $1.38. Not bad. In my opinion, slightly risky trade, so be careful with it. Next up, we got AJ. AJ is interesting. Let's make this pretty freaking nice head and shoulder pattern. Right. Going long. I don't really like this too much, again, because it's two Asia pairs, but the move is there. Right? It already closed above this price. You could easily grab this right here. I'm going to put everything below. This is a little tight from here, so you have to target here or here. So not bad. Again, this is a, needs to pull back just a little bit, but this is two Asia pairs, guys. So be careful with this one. Do not put your full position on. Let's put entry area. All right, so this would need to pull back just a little bit. You might have just missed this, maybe to around 93, 94, somewhere around there. This might pull back to the 13. If it does, even better. But it has everything else it needs, I believe. Yeah, it does. So we had the W off the 200. Then you had this combo move off of here. It's already above the 13. This looks fine. Not bad at all. But again, be careful with it. Do not put your full position on it because it's two A's of pairs. And then lastly, we have NJ. Did NJ do the same thing? No, it didn't. So this is actually the second pattern off the 200. So this one is a pass. This way you got to make sure you look at the entire thing, guys, so you can actually see. All right. The W has already happened. The move off the 200 already happened on this one. But on AJ, it didn't. All right. This is the first move. All right. This doesn't count. Market baseline is above the static. So the next move off the 200 is here. All right. See the difference? 5200 crossed all the way back here, but we already had a W structure off the 200. So this one is a pass. All right, and that is it. Ladies, enjoyed. Yeah, all that good stuff. Links in the description. Check us out. The website, the Discord, Patreon, all that good stuff's in there. If you got a question or two, drop it in the comments and we will get into it. Other than that, guys, Thursday, I believe the market's closed. So be careful if you do decide to trade on Thursday. Volume will be very, very scarce. And then on Friday, I think it's super late news. So be careful on Friday as well. Other than that, I will catch you guys tomorrow.